due for a hearty meal, so saddle up for the day with one of our hay-busting breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at our salad bar, sink your teeth into our famous county line burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spoon-rattling pie with a calm roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the gang. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
Beck News is your leader in local. Beck specials and live information for you. Original programming. Exclusive local sports. Beck is local for you. Uncensored topics and uncensored opinions. Unapologetic politics, where all sides are represented. Full episodes online anytime at beck.news. All in one network. Your leader in local, Beck News.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, BASF, We Create Chemistry, Securian Financial Advisors of North Dakota, Giving Hearts Day, and these premier sponsors. Today's game is presented by the following: Dakota Bank, Peterson Farms Seed, Forebears, Nutrient A, Newtown Jack and Jill, Montana Dakota Utilities, Montreal Williams and Burke Divide Electric Cooperative, and United Tribes Technical College.
The telecast of this tournament game has been authorized by special arrangement with the Board of Directors of the North Dakota High School Activities Association.
Two-on-one shot scores! It's Nate Walls!
Nice dish, Mason Walter, and he stuffs it home.
A great season of basketball and an even better three-day tournament here in Williston has all led to this. It's our championship game in Region 8 between the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers and the Tioga Pirates. Alongside Brett Loftus, I'm Jake Herman here for the call. Kenmare has used defense to fuel their region title defense. They've given up just 42 points in 2 games in this tournament. That's a Region 8 record. They go up against the Tioga offense that was best in the region this year. So, Brett, something's got to give tonight.
Defense wins championships. I think that's the old adage. I think any coach will tell you that. And this Kenmare defense, one of the very best. They've allowed the second least and the third least amount of points in Region 8 history, and that's just been this week. I mean, their defense has been phenomenal all year, but here recently it's been perhaps the best all year. And then you look at Tioga, right? Bree Rose, phenomenal freshman. She's burst onto the scene this season. This Tioga offense is the best we've seen in Region 8. As you say, something has to give. Well, we'll see what that is.
For Kenmare, their chance for a three-peat in Region 8, a trip back to the state tournament for the 3rd year in a row. Tioga making their maiden appearance here in the Region 8 finals. They've got a chance for what is their biggest opportunity for a win in program history. When we come back, we'll dive into the keys to the game and more on the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. It's the Region 8 Championship on Beck.
Howdy folks, it's the County Line Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our hay-busting breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at our salad bar, sink your teeth into our famous County Line burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spoon-rattling pie with a calm roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the gang. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
Chem Electric is here to remind you to make safety your #1 priority on the farm this and every season. With over 550 annual deaths, farming is one of the most dangerous professions. Always be aware of your surroundings and dress accordingly. Hazards on the farm can both be seen and unseen. Whether it's dangerous augers or underground power lines, dangers come in all shapes and sizes. So slow down, look up and around, and be safe this season. Your life depends on it. This farm safety message brought to you by Chem Electric.
Howdy folks, it's the County Line Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our hay-busting breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at our salad bar, sink your teeth into our famous County Line burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spoon-rattling pie with a calm roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the gang. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
Ag producers, North Dakota's electric cooperatives remind you to watch for electric hazards. When operating large equipment, your local electric cooperative recommends using a spotter and maintaining distance of 10 feet from power lines in all directions at all times, and always consider down lines energized. Your local electric cooperative's priority is safety, the safety of their employees and you, their members. Stay safe, stay watchful. This message is brought to you by North Dakota's electric cooperatives.
NISC's culture is great in many different aspects. I like that we all have a sense of wanting to help each other out.
NISC actually means what we say. We've got our shared values, our principles of personal development from integrity to all relationships. We stand by those.
There's an encouraging and friendly atmosphere here that it's just kind of fun to be around.
At the heart of every small town are the people that live there and the businesses that serve them. From sporting events to 4-H, Lions clubs to hospital foundations, Bassett Motors has worked for the past 23 years to make sure the heart of its area small towns continues to be the people. With over 15 employees, Bassett Motors prides itself on small town service with personal attention. Bassett Motors, where our customers send their friends.
This is the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. For all of your insurance needs, contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent or go to fumic.com.
House starting to pack in here at the Well. It's our Region 8 championship here on the Beck Sports Network between Kenmare and Tioga. Let's take a look back on a fantastic tournament. Let's see how we got here with our look around the region presented by Cavendish Farms. Cavendish Farms is the leading producer of frozen food products for retail and food service markets throughout Canada, the United States, and around the world. To learn more about Cavendish Farms and current career opportunities, please visit our website at cavendishfarms.com. Cavendish Farms, where every day is Friday. The Kenmare Bowbells Conkers have trailed for one moment in this Region 8 basketball tournament, save for a 6-2 deficit they faced in that second round against Newtown. Their defense was oh so stingy in wins over the Trenton Tigers and the Newtown Eagles, who just captured third place in that last game in overtime against Powers Lake. Tioga beat that Powers Lake team by 8 in the semifinals after they took care of Mandaree in round number 1. So that sets us up with a rematch of the District 16 championship game here tonight between Kenmare and Tioga. Let's dive in to the keys in this matchup, a matchup which Kenmare won by a series score of 2-0 this season. Let's roll out the AgriCover Roll Tarps total coverage. AgriCover Roll Tarps deliver reliability with every roll since 1981. Find a dealer near you at agricover.com/rolltarps. Let's start with Kenmare. We know how quickly Tioga likes to play. They excel when they push the tempo, so transition defense, very important for the Honkers.
Yeah, they love to get out and run, but at times they also love to slow it down. It's what's so odd about Coach Zimmer. He says, well, we love to play a patient offense, and then they'll get out and they'll have 9 straight transition points. They are a team, they can do it all, and that's why they're number 2 in the state.
Coach Mike Zimmer in year number 6 at the helm. On the other side for Deb DeMoe, year number 3 with her Tioga Pirates. They've got to compete in the paint. The two bigs for Kenmare, Taya Offord and Brenna Strokeland, both so talented, they combined for 50 points the last time these two teams met. If that happens again, Kenmare's going back to state tournament.
Yeah, I mean, they dominate down low, and they've done that all tournament. Taya Offord, she's averaging 12 points in the tournament. Brenna Strokeland, she has just been absolutely phenomenal, would be averaging probably a near 20-10 double-double thus far if it wasn't for the blowout win on Tuesday against Newtown. I mean, that duo down there in the paint, they're going to be awesome tonight. Tioga's got to be ready to defend that.
You talked about Strokeland. She's one of players we'll highlight in our next segment, the Pro Seed player matchup. Need seed, think Pro Seed. Strokeland averaged nearly 18 points per game this season. The All-State player found yet another way to up her game after last season, which some didn't think was possible. She's going up against a freshman in Bree Rose, who had a huge second half in the last game for Tioga, getting them through to this championship. She went for 20 points when they fought Kenmare in the district finals.
And nobody thinks that Kenmare is going to lose, right? You know who does think that Kenmare is going to lose? Bree Rose. You know who the best player for Tioga is? Bree Rose. You know who's going to carry the scoring load yet again? You guessed it, Bree Rose. Bree Rose, she's had a tournament to be proud of no matter what happens here tonight. But if she could lead Tioga to their first Region 8 championship in their first ever Region 8 championship game, she'll be a legend in Tioga.
Hard to believe that Rose is only a freshman. Let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum and highlight our Pride and Joy Senior Spotlight presented by the Bank of North Dakota. Congratulations to Madison Moline from the Kenmare Honkers as the College Save Pride and Joy Senior of the game. She'll be entered for the chance to receive a $529 College Save Pride and Joy scholarship. Moline has put together a really nice tournament. 16 points in the first round, 4 total steals so far. She does a whole lot as that combination guard for the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers. You too can win a $529 College Save scholarship, which Beck Sports and College Save have partnered together for. It's called the Championship Scholarship Giveaway, and you can visit collegesaveforyou.com/basketball or do so by scanning that QR code on screen. Get yourself registered for a chance at one of 4 $529 College Save scholarships. One more thing to take care of before we send you to break and show you the opening tip, and that's our starting lineups presented by the Vogel Law Firm, where you're more than just a client, you're a trusted partner in your case. Michelle Miller, another all-region returner, joining Kate Zimmer, the 5th-year point guard for the Honkers, playing through that torn ACL. She'll be limited, but she'll be out there nonetheless for Kenmare.
Yeah, her pops is fired up. Coach Zimmer, he's going to have them ready on the other side. Coach Deb DeMoe, you mentioned it. Tioga may not have been here, but they recognize the moment. I feel like, and this feeling in this gym right now, this can be a championship game for the ages.
The buzz is building, and on the other side, we'll get started with the Region 8 Girls Basketball Tournament Championship. Keep it right here with us on the Beck Sports Network.
Beck TV is the 2022 best local TV station. For the second consecutive year, thank you again for voting us the best local TV station in the Bismarck Tribune's Best of the Best contest. We strive to continue to broadcast the most live and local sporting events in the region. Plus, we are the largest producer of uncensored news and opinion shows. Thank you again. Beck TV is the leader in local.
It's time to get educated, people.
And that's just what we're doing on our new show, Educated. Every day we bring you the stories from inside the classroom that mainstream media won't cover.
So stay educated with us, weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Central Time on Beck News or anytime online at beck.news.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Val Bank, BASF, we create chemistry, Securian Financial Advisors of North Dakota, Giving Hearts Day, and these premier sponsors. Today's game is presented by the following: Dakota Bank, Peterson Farms Seed, Forebears, Nutrient A, Newtown Jack and Jill, Montana Dakota Utilities, Montreal Williams and Burke Divide Electric Cooperative, and United Tribes Technical College.
This is the Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. For all of your insurance needs, contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent or go to fumic.com.
Tioga and Kenmare being introduced in front of a standing crowd here at the Well. We're on the campus of Williston State College here for the championship of the Region 8 tournament. And fans, remember, go ahead and use that promo code BECK10, get 10% off your total order from snurtstopper.com. If rising heat costs have you down, make sure you order your Snurtstopper premium garage door seals to keep those snow and winds out of your garage. Use promo code BECK10 for 10% off. Kenmare back in this game. Brett Loftus for the 4th consecutive year. They lost to Trenton in 2020 before going on a run of 2 straight region titles. Tioga in this spot for the first time in program history. It's our tip-off presented by Steffes Group. For a full list of upcoming auctions or to contact a representative near you, go to steffesgroup.com. Brenna Strokeland wins the tip-off to Kate Zimmer, and we're underway. Ava Frothseth had that shot miss, and we'll have 2 young ladies go to the floor for a tie-up. Just 12 seconds into this one.
Got some aggressiveness early, and as good as Tioga's offense and as good as Kenmare's defense is, here's the matchup we're going to want to see all night long.
Bree Rose and Cheryl Hayes getting early touches for Tioga. We didn't mention Cheryl Hayes yet. She was instrumental in their semifinal win, 21 points to go along with 10 rebounds and 7 steals. She's off the mark on that 3. Rebound ripped down by Mache Miller. And back come the Honkers with Kate Zimmer, playing through that torn ACL on her left knee, suffered back on January 17th as she gets the dime to Strokeland.
Through the triple T. Okay, Brenna Strokeland.
Could that be a sign of things to come for the All-State player who has owned Tioga in the 2 meetings this season, both won by Kenmare, margins of 14 and 13 points. Those games played about a month apart. Middle of January and middle of February, the first at Tioga High School, the second at Stanley, where the District 16 tournament was held. Ava Wallin is off on that shot, and back the other way comes Kenmare. Zimmer throws it up ahead. That's Moline for 2. Kenmare off and running in the early going. Bree Rose offline, the rebound for Cheyenne Hayes. Her pass taken away by Mache Miller. Moline juggled the pass, but got to the head to Zimmer, and Kate Zimmer is fouled by Cheryl Hayes.
Now you're getting to see both of these teams get out and run. We know that's what Tioga loves to do. Kenmare forces that quick turnover. What about Kate Zimmer? Playing on one leg and driving to the bucket that time. She'll have 2 at the line.
That left ACL retorn in January. It will require surgery after the season. The future Bismarck State College volleyball player is a 1,000-point scorer at Kenmare, was averaging 10 points per game before the injury, has scored just 2 points in this tournament in 11 minutes. You can see why Coach Zimmer was saving her for this moment.
Yeah, and 2 big-time wins. They won by 37 and 35 points respectively. They really haven't had to use it thus far.
Getting plenty of time early in this one. That shot is offline from Thea Johnson, the freshman forward. Wallin took it away from Strokeland. Had a little trouble, but got it back. Ava Wallin, the freshman guard, kicks it out to Cheyenne Hayes. It's a young Tioga team without a single senior. Bree Rose had that shot affected by Strokeland. She'll clear the rebound and start the break. Zimmer, a 3. It's there! On one leg, Kate Zimmer and the Honkers have raced out to a 9-0 lead.
Beck TV is the 2022 best local TV station. For the second consecutive year, thank you again for voting us the best local TV station in the Bismarck Tribune's Best of the Best contest. We strive to continue to broadcast the most live and local sporting events in the region. Plus, we are the largest producer of uncensored news and opinion shows. Thank you again. Beck TV is the leader in local.
It's time to get educated, people.
And that's just what we're doing on our new show, Educated. Every day we bring you the stories from inside the classroom that mainstream media won't cover.
So stay educated with us. Weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Central Time on Beck News or anytime online at beck.news.
5 early points for Kate Zimmer and a Kenmare team that is yet to trail, save for 2 minutes in their semifinal game. It is out to a 9-0. Student sections filling in both sides. Pirates decked out in camo. Honkers clad in red and yellow. It's a great atmosphere here at the Well. This young Tioga team in the region championship for the first time, looking to settle in. Johnson a 3, too strong.
They keep rushing it. We talked about it all tournament really with Tioga. They cannot force shots up this early because this is gonna happen on the other end.
Strokeland splits the defense and gets 2 more. She's nailed her first 2 shots in this one. Kenmare up 11. Wallin drives on Zimmer, lost it on the way. Zimmer head up. Mache Miller lets the defense go by. What a fake that was.
Oh my goodness.
Bree Rose called for the travel.
That was the best play of the tournament, and it's not even close, Mr. Herman. That is incredible.
If that's not a metaphor for the way this game has started, I don't know what is.
13-0 run. Kenmare, they're coming out here with something to prove. Coach Zimmer loves to hype up the opponents. He must have told them Tioga was the 97-98 Bulls in the locker room.
He said that's how he keeps his team motivated, despite the fact they've lost just 1 Region 8 game in the last 3 years. Bree Rose gets the steal, looking for the foul, but Madison Moline stayed vertical. Strokeland kicks it out. Extra pass. Miller another fake. Stop it! It's all going Kenmare's way. Rose can't answer.
What does Kenmare do now? Well, they've been doing anything they want to, Jake. I mean, this is the epitome of starting hot versus starting cold.
The heat check off the front rim from Mache Miller. And will the Honkers run away with this game in the first quarter? Wallin, they need it. They don't have it.
What has been a staple all tournament has been just that here this evening, their defense. We've already seen 2 quarters already in the tournament where Kenmare has allowed 0 points. Could this be their third?
Strokeland to Trey. She's offline. Rebounds Cheryl Hayes. Kenmare has allowed 10 points just 1 time in a quarter all tournament long. It was against Trenton. It's been single digits in 7 out of 8 quarters for this defense, coming in as the #1 defense in Region 8. Cheryl Hayes can't get Tioga on the board. McKenna Landsberg chases the rebound in the corner. Zone defense here for the Honkers. Extended pressure out on Bree Rose. Miller forces her to the ground. Rose got rid of it in time. Hayes is bumped by Bria Crest.
That's exactly what Tioga needed right there. Need a stoppage in play, gives you a few moments to breathe, and now you can kind of rethink this inbound play, and a timeout used here by Coach Zimmer.
Kenmare on top 16-0. Their title defense off to a strong start here in Williston.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, BASF, we create chemistry, Securian Financial Advisors of North Dakota, Giving Hearts Day, and these premier sponsors.
Region 8 basketball on the Beck Sports Network, presented by Dakota Bank. Dakota Bank is here for you. Peterson Farm Seed, the premier soybean and corn seed provider for Minnesota and North Dakota, as well as for Bears. Brett Loftus, it's been a clinic in the early going for the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers. What's impressed you the most?
The way they've scored the basketball. They've scored it from the three-point line. They've scored it from within 3 feet. They've scored it from the mid-range. They've done everything perfectly, but they've also played perfect defense, that being just their second team foul, and it'll be the first chance at the line here for Tioga.
Tioga scored 50-plus points against every team in Region 8 this year, save for one. That was Kenmare. They played Kenmare twice. Tioga was held below 50 twice. This is a Pirates team that averaged 60 points per game this year. 62 for them in the win Tuesday in the semifinals as Strokeland tiptoes the line and saves the rebound. 1 out of 2 at the line that time for Wallin. Taya Offerth into the game for the first time, the freshman forward, who played big minutes all tournament for Kenmare, as Vardy will get a chance to go to the free throw line.
You know, I think she's been the most underrated player in the tournament, Jake, because you look at this team in Kenmare, they have so many superstars. They have so many names that you know. You hear Strokeland, you hear Zimmer, you hear Alford. But Alexa Vardy, she's been one of those just slept on players. She's just simply done her job every time Coach Zimmer has called her name.
Coach Zimmer calling Vardy his toughest player. She doesn't back down from any challenge, often drawing the opposing team's best outside shooter. Her and Madison Moline have that trait in common. Tenacious defense. Cheryl Hayes blocked that time by Strokeland, and Offerth clears. There's not a 50-50 ball in this tournament that it feels like Kenmare hasn't come away with. Mache Miller, the team's best outside shooter, already hit one from there. Finds Moline, up and under move, and she is going to be called for a traveling violation.
Move that right pivot foot. She tried to drag it. You can't move it at all, and they're going to get her for that travel every time.
It's the same Kenmare core, the seniors, Strokeland, Moline, Zimmer, Froset, Mache Miller, that has helped them become so dominant over these past few years. They lost to Trenton here on this stage in 2020, and after that, they won 2 years in a row, didn't lose a game in Region 8 for 2 seasons. That streak was snapped in January when they lost to Stanley on a half-court buzzer beater, but it has been a dominant stretch of basketball for a team that you dubbed the Queens of Region 8.
I mean, is that not what they are? You know, obviously, as you just mentioned, won the past 2 years, and sometimes you can get a little stagnant, right? Well, we've won back-to-back. Well, they're looking to make it 3 straight tonight. 16-1 to start the game.
A team that hopes they can not just advance to the state tournament, but make noise once they get there. 6th place last year for this Honkers team. Miller skips that one long. Offerth had the rebound knocked away, but it ends up in the hands of Vardy. Vardy to Moline, and Bree Rose disrupting things. Miller a tray. Honkers have missed their last few from outside after they couldn't miss in the first couple minutes tonight.
Well, offense is always going to slow down, Jake. Offense is always going to heat up. But you know what is one thing that is inconsistent? You know what I'm going to say? Defense. 1 point on the board. 1 point. They haven't allowed a field goal yet. This Kenmare defense, and especially to run a zone, just phenomenal. I mean, Coach Zimmer, what he's done and how well these girls stay staunch in their approach on the defensive end, it's a masterclass.
That jumper good for the first field goal all day. Cambry Johnson. It's not as if Tioga has had good looks and missed them. Kenmare is just preventing the Pirates from getting any kind of rhythm on offense. Coach Deb DeMoe, season number 3, hoping her team can settle in. It might start on this end. Rose and Hayes pressuring. A 3-ball on the way and offline from Zimmer. Vardy the offensive rebound. She's stuffed by Cheryl Hayes. Loose ball last touched by Kenmare. Region 8 basketball here on the Beck Sports Network, brought to you by Nutrient Ag, Newtown Jack and Jill, as well as Montana Dakota Utilities, reminding you to always call before you dig. It was tough to tell who touched that one last. Went off somebody's shin. So Tioga can hold for one shot here, if they so choose. Rose says, I don't think so. She goes all the way to the rim for her first 2 points.
They need her to get going.
Rose had 20 points the last time she faced Kenmare. Quiet first half on Tuesday until she erupted for 19 and half number 2. Quarter coming to a close. Zimmer got it! And Kenmare leads by 14. An improbable shot from a likely suspect.
Beck TV is the 2022 best local TV station. For the second consecutive year, thank you again for voting us the best local TV station in the Bismarck Tribune's Best of the Best contest. We strive to continue to broadcast the most live and local sporting events in the region. Plus, we are the largest producer of uncensored news and opinion shows. Thank you again. Beck TV is the leader in local.
It's time to get educated, people.
And that's just what we're doing on our new show, Educated. Every day we bring you the stories from inside the classroom that mainstream media won't cover.
So stay educated with us. Weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Central Time on Beck News or anytime online at beck.news.
Jake Herman, Brent Loft is back here on the Beck Sports Network. 1 quarter of the books and 3 to go between Kenmare and Tioga. It's one thing to play on a torn ACL. It's another to do this. Unbelievable from Kate.
And she planted off of the left leg. That's what she planted off of, and off of that leg it went. Just a reminder, if you didn't catch the third place game, we also had a shot hit from the Teton, same spot in that first quarter. Must be something about that shot at the end of the first tonight.
That gave Kenmare a 14-point advantage. Cheryl Hayes able to hit from downtown, and Tioga has scored on 2 straight possessions for the first time all night.
And obviously Kenmare has all the momentum, but a couple missed buckets and a couple makes from Tioga, it completely changes the atmosphere.
McKenna Landsberg with an open runway. Muffed it. Rose right there, and that's a missed opportunity.
I think that's just a freshman with that scoring mentality. At that point, double teamed, you got to reset the offense.
Michelle Miller missed from 3. And McKenna Landsberg, the sophomore, comes the other way. She's battled through a foot injury this year, was on crutches in the fall, came back to the lineup in January. Rose spins that one off and snatches the rebound away from Cheyenne Hayes. So far, it's been a whole lot of one and done for Tioga. Kenmare doing a good job closing out.
Yeah, defensive rebounds, they're really going to play a big aspect, especially when you get to this atmosphere. You got to box out.
Zimmer looking for double figures. Shot affected by Cheryl Hayes. Good defense by the freshman. Tioga has relied so much on forcing turnovers, as that foul is called on Michelle Miller. They had 20 points off of turnovers in each of their first 2 games. Coach Zimmer knows his team has to take care of it today if they want to get back to the state tournament. The 6th-year man was a Kenmare grad, played on their boys team, which went to state back in 1988. He's got high expectations for this group and a senior class that he called the singular reason that he loves coaching so much.
And you can obviously see why, as his defense able to force another turnover.
Deb DeMoe on the other side took over a Tioga team that was in the midst of an 8-year drought from even qualifying for the region tournament. They hadn't been to the semis since 2005, and here they are, 1 win away from their first state tournament appearance.
You know, I'll just say this for both of these head coaches, as we'll get a timeout. I'll have that one on the other side of the break. We'll talk a little bit more about both of these head coaches here in the Region 8 Championship.
Beck TV is the 2022 best local TV station. For the second consecutive year, thank you again for voting us the best local TV station in the Bismarck Tribune's Best of the Best contest. We strive to continue to broadcast the most live and local sporting events in the region. Plus, we are the largest producer of uncensored news and opinion shows. Thank you again. Beck TV is the leader in local.
It's time to get educated, people.
And that's just what we're doing on our new show, Educated. Every day we bring you the stories from inside the classroom that mainstream media won't cover.
So stay educated with us. Weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Central Time on Beck News or anytime online at beck.news.
So as we were talking about earlier, that's the half-court shot or nearly half-court shot in game one in the third-place game. And then Kate Zimmer, same spot, off of one leg, hits it here in quarter number one tonight. It's a magical night here, Mr. Herman.
I think we got to call it the Lucky Teton, right? It's from that, that left eye where they keep hitting those threes. Unbelievable stuff from our director, Reno Hightower, in studio, and these teams here tonight. I'll tell you what, this Tioga team has been very well supported all week. They've gotten a good boost of energy here from their crowd. A lot of fans clad in the blue and yellow. Kenmare with their biggest showing of the tournament so far as well. It's a great atmosphere here inside the Well, the home of Williston College and the home of the Region 8 tournament. I want to extend a thank you to all of our hosts here throughout the week for their hospitality and help. Tioga has a couple of turnovers starting to pile up.
Just extend one more big thank you. The tournament director, Jaden Olson, also the athletic director here at Williston State College. He has been absolutely phenomenal hosting Beck Sports and the rest of us here at Williston State College.
And our Beck Sports crew has been phenomenal as well. Scotty Lurch and Patrick Conte on camera throughout the tournament. As that one goes down for Taya Offord, her first points. She had 15 in the district championship win for Kenmare over Tioga. Lady Pirates have been stuck on 8 here the last couple of minutes. Cheyenne Hayes draws the foul. It's on Vardy. Excuse me, Moline.
You know, Jake, we were talking just moments ago before we came to that break about both of these coaches, Coach Michael Zimmer and Coach Deb DeMoe, both on totally opposite ends of the spectrum. Not a lot of postseason experience and definitely no championship experience for Coach DeMoe here in the Region 8. On the opposite end there for Coach Zimmer, his 4th straight year he's coached in the Region 8 championship game. Both coaches, though, Jake, they've done it. Consistency and then playing the underdog role. I think two very good candidates for a Region 8 Coach of the Year.
Can't say enough about the job that each of them has done. The two best teams, without a doubt, all season long in the region. The only Region 8 team that beat Tioga all year was Kenmare. They were 3-7 in the region a year ago. This year they won 10 games. And the Honkers always dominant at the top of District 16, it seems, as of late. Lilibeth Santizo comes up with the steal. She's in off the bench for Coach Zimmer and the Honkers. Bria Crest pump fakes. Nice defense on the ball by Hayes. And it's taken away by Cambry Johnson. So the Lady Pirates starting to make life a little bit tougher for Kenmare on the offensive end. Brenna Strokeland's been quiet. She's got just 4 points. And I say quiet by her standards because she had 35 the last time these teams met. That steal, though, is going to set Kenmare up with a fast break. Madison Moline kicks to Santizo. Nice find off fourth at the elbow.
That was beautiful ball work there. Moline, Santizo, all four. Just finding your teammates that time.
Pirates push the pace, and that will send Cambry Johnson, the 8th grade center, to the line. You talked about this, Brett. Beautiful offense.
I mean, this is Coach Popovich of the San Antonio Spurs. We talk about motion basketball. We talk about the art of passing. It started in San Antonio, and Coach Zimmer has brought it to Kenmare. That was a beautiful possession.
Coach Zimmer was able to give his team a unique experience last year as well. Around this time of year, after their state tournament run was done, they checked out some SEC basketball down in Tampa. Got to move down from the nosebleeds and watch some SEC hoops. It was an experience that his team really bonded together through.
You know,
great atmosphere.
You know what we say in the Southeastern Conference, Mr. Herman? It just means more. And for Kenmare here in Region 8, kind of take that same motto.
Meanwhile, Kate Zimmer back on the floor for Kenmare. This is the most she's played in the tournament as Strokeland gets fouled by Cheyenne Hayes. Deb DeMoe has her arms in the air because she felt like this pretty good defense.
Yeah, that was one of those calls that separated both sides of the arena. The blue and yellow was booing, and the yellow and burgundy, well, they were pretty eccentric.
So Strokeland goes to the free throw line and is able to hit.
It's also worthy to note here, Jake, for the rest of the half, it will be Tioga who is already in the bonus. Not so much for Kenmare. Stirred 2 more fouls away.
Just under 4 minutes to go in our first half. Region 8 girls basketball on Beck, presented by Mount Rear Williams and Burke Divide Electric Co-op, State Bank and Trust of Kenmare, supporting our local community, as well as United Tribes Technical College. So after that 16-0 start for Kenmare, the Pirates can feel pretty good about where they're at right now, but they'd still want to get a little bit closer before the break. There's a deflection and a steal. Bree Rose gets it back from Hayes. She goes to the rim and scores over Miller.
And she gave a little look back to Kenmare's student section. Bree Rose feeling herself.
Travel called on Brenna Strokeland. Another look at the steal. Bree Rose, 19.9 points per game this season. There's the look back at the Kenmare students you were talking about. Of course, looking through those medically prescribed glasses, Bree Rose battled an eye infection that has given her vision problems on that side. It was caused by some contaminated tap water. She had to have her cornea replaced. It's amazing the adversity that she has battled through to get back on the floor, learning to see the court in an entirely new way. And you can tell how much her hard work has paid off. She is a different player than she was even before the injury. Strokeland thought about the 3. Instead kicks out to Santizo. Zimmer wants it and finds her teammate Alforth. A lot of contact there. Kenmare faithful wanted a foul. Thea Johnson stumbling and gets it to Rose.
I definitely think they had a gripe there, Jake, but nonetheless, we play on. We've seen a lot of aggressiveness down low, and some have been called and some haven't. I think we've had a lot of consistency.
Walleen doesn't find anything on that 3 ball. Ava Walleen, the freshman, an all-district 16 tournament team selection. So many different players have stepped up for the Tioga Pirates. Arguably the deepest team in the region. You could certainly make an argument for Kenmare there as well. As Strokeland gets blocked. Cheryl Hayes swiped it clean. Now she's got Rose up ahead. Bree Rose blocked by Alforth, but fouled. Tensions heating up in this one.
You got to take a second look at this on the All True Health Systems replay. There's obviously a block by Hayes, and then we go down on the other and Alforth.
A lot of ball there.
Nonetheless, though, a little bit of body contact, so you can see how the foul was called. And again, we talk about the aggressiveness when you have the #1 offense in Tioga in the region, the #1 defense in Kenmare. You're obviously going to see a lot of aggressive play down low. Another look at that one at home. We'll let you judge that one from the couch.
And while you were judging from the couch, Bree Rose was splitting the pair from the free throw line to make this a single-digit game. Kate Zimmer mishandled, dribbled off her foot. Here comes Ava Walleen. Looking to go to work on Michelle Miller, such a good defender. Hayes will drive to her strong left side, and that one is a clear foul. It'll be on Vardy.
Yeah, a little bit of late rotation there from Vardy. She just extended the forearm, and obviously I think that was her last-ditch effort.
Second foul on Vardy. There are 2 fouls on Cheyenne Hayes for Tioga as well, if you're keeping track of foul trouble. They said that was on the floor, and so the front end of the 1-and-1 was missed. Pirates get nothing out of that position.
Yeah, that was a big, perhaps 2 points avoided there from Kenmare. They need a bucket. They've been scoreless over the last 2 minutes.
They have just 5 points in this second quarter after putting up 19 in the first. Zimmer to Miller. Uncharacteristic miss. Hayes wasting no time. Nearly got stripped from behind, and Miller eventually took it away. Now numbers for Kenmare. Strokeland off the entry. Baby hook, no. Hayes shovels it out to Walleen. Final minute in half number 1. Tioga trying to crawl their way back after a bad start. And they'll get a chance here at the free throw line.
It's a good dribble drive that time from Wallin. Second chance. Contact between Zimmer and Wallin, obviously after the shot. So a 50-50 judgment call.
Wallin banks home the free throw. Somebody who gained a lot of confidence throughout the year after a tough start. Wallin has just 2 total points in this tournament, but she was huge for them in the district tournament. Gets the lucky roll.
So now with this being a 7-point ball game, Jake, we got just a hair under a minute remaining in the half. Tioga needs that big-time stop, which they've had the last 7 times down the floor on the defensive possession. And then they just need a bucket to carry you into half. We could have this a 5-point ball game. The Pirates have much more than just a fighting chance in the second half.
If you joined us late, Kenmare got off to a 16-0 start, but their offense has gone cold since, and the Lady Pirates have clawed back into this thing. That 3 rattles out. Honkers have gone 0 from the outside in this quarter.
In just 1 second in between the shot and clock, the Pirates can take this down a little bit.
Momentum has shifted here in the last few minutes. We'll see how patient they are. A team that likes to look for early offense, especially when Rose has it in her hands. It's taken away right out of her hands by Brenna Strokeland. Spins around and misses. Moline blocked by Landsberg. Pirates force it up ahead. Hayes to Johnson. She got it. The first quarter belonged to Kenmare. But in that second quarter, the Pirates battled back. And we've got ourselves a ball game here in Williston as the Region 8 Championship rolls on.
My name is Rich Shook, and I lost my best friend in a grain bin accident. Some of the emotional scars that when these incidences happen just resonates throughout the community like dropping a rock in a pond. I guess I'll never forget. At least the last moments we shared. That's why I think this is so important to get out there to people, is people think that it can't happen to you, and it can. The time it would take you to just kiss a loved one, and your life is over. I believe it's unacceptable.
This message provided by North Dakota Farmers Union.
Howdy folks, it's the County Line Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our Hey Bossin' breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at our salad bar, sink your teeth into our famous County Line burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spoon rattling pie with a cum roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the gang. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
Staying connected is more important than ever, and we're proud to have connected you when it mattered most. Whether it was working remotely at your new home office or providing cutting-edge security and connectivity solutions, or connecting you to your customers in new ways. More than ever, your local co-op is here for you. Choose local, choose Beck Connect.
The snert, rain, snow, cold, dirt, and critters love to slither through cracks in your shop or warehouse doors. Keep these gremlins gone with Snert Stopper Premium Door Seals. Made in the USA and easy to install, our Kevlar reinforced insulated foam core creates a barrier that vanquishes varmints, exiles the elements, and crushes rising energy costs, dropping your heating and cooling costs by up to 40%. Keep the snert where they belong, outside. Save energy, repairs, and time. Order today at snertstopper.com.
Ag producers, North Dakota's electric cooperatives remind you to watch for electric hazards. When operating large equipment, your local electric cooperative recommends using a spotter and maintaining distance of 10 feet from power lines in all directions at all times. And always consider down lines energized. Your local electric cooperative's priority is safety. the safety of their employees, and you, their members. Stay safe, stay watchful. This message is brought to you by North Dakota's electric cooperatives.
At the heart of every small town are the people that live there and the businesses that serve them. From sporting events to 4-H, Lions clubs to hospital foundations, Bassett Motors has worked for the past 23 years to make sure the heart of its area small towns continues to be the people. With over 15 employees, Bassett Motors prides itself on small town service with personal attention. Bassett Motors, where our customers send their friends.
NISC's culture is great in many different aspects. I like that we all have a sense of wanting to help each other out.
NISC actually means what we say. We've got our shared values, our principles of personal development from integrity to all relationships. We stand by those.
There's an encouraging and friendly atmosphere here that it's just kind of fun to be around.
Chem Electric is here to remind you to make safety your #1 priority on the farm this and every season. With over 550 annual deaths, farming is one of the most dangerous professions. Always be aware of your surroundings and dress accordingly. Hazards on the farm can both be seen and unseen. Whether it's dangerous augers or underground power lines, dangers come in all shapes and sizes. So slow down, look up and around, and be safe this season. Your life depends on it. This farm safety message brought to you by Chem Electric.
Howdy folks, it's a Kenmare Cafe. I reckon it's time you're due for a hearty meal. So saddle up for the day with one of our Hey Bossin' breakfast homemade soups. Fill your grill at our salad bar, sink your teeth into our famous Kenmare burger and barbecue ribs. Top it off with spoon rattling pie with a cum roll that's sure to put a smile on even the toughest outlaws. Shake the dirt off the boots each night and warm up with the gang. Tell them about it, Stacy.
I can't wait to see you at the county line.
Beck News is your leader in local. Beck specials and live information for you. Original programming. Exclusive local sports. Beck is local for you. Uncensored topics and uncensored opinions. Unapologetic politics, where all sides are represented. Full episodes online anytime at beck.news. All in one network. Your leader in local, Beck News.
It's time for the Giving Hearts Day Halftime Report. Did you know that Giving Hearts Day is more than just dollars? It's also a place to check out hundreds of volunteer opportunities. Visit givingheartsday.org/volunteer to see if your favorite local charity could use a helping hand.
Welcome inside our Giving Hearts Day Halftime Report as we are 16 minutes away from sending one of these two teams to the state tournament as the Region 8 champion. Alongside Brett Loftus, I'm Jake Herman. Brett, it was a fantastic start for Kenmare, a dream start. Up 16-0, everything was going their way. Early on, it looked as if they were running away with this thing. They had Tioga jumping for joy and falling in circles, but Tioga gave them credit. They've steadied the ship, and the Pirates are starting to march their way back into this thing.
And their two best players aren't even playing like their two best players. Bree Rose and Cheryl Hayes, they had a bit of a down half, if you will. I'm sure they're picking up just like they have. I mean, every time they've had a bad first half or maybe a not so up to par first half, they've come out in the second half. And Jake, so far in the second half in this tournament, that's where they've carried the scoring load. Really looking for Tioga to be much, much better in the first half, or excuse me, in the second half than they were in the first half. But for Kenmare, they haven't scored in over 4.5 minutes, and that's going to continue into the second half. The Honkers, obviously, they came out ready to go, but it was like all that emotion was just poured into the first few minutes. Got to be ready to play here in the second half.
Kenmare won the first quarter 19-5, but the second quarter was won by Tioga 14-5. The atmosphere has been stellar, and we hope you're enjoying our coverage of the Region 8 Championship here on Beck Sports.
Welcome to Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust. I'm your host, Wild Bill. The character and legacy of the American West comes to life. We'll strive to give you a glimpse of the rich history. I've seen the toughest cowboys in the state of North Dakota. I've had a front row seat to those whose passion has been the preservation of history.
Dakota Cowboy, presented by Dakota Community Bank and Trust on Beck TV.
Ladies of Another View in a hometown near you,
where we visit the small towns around North Dakota.
The quilt shop was going to be closing, and I asked if they would be willing to sell. 13 years ago, we started Quilt Essentials.
Highlighting the jewels of the prairie while sharing untold and forgotten stories.
The first original treaty, we were one tribe between us and the system of Wampanoag. Broken down into two, and then they placed us here.
Wednesdays at 4:30 Central on Beck and Beck.News.
Stay informed on what your elected representatives are doing in Bismarck.
The local subdivisions generally find a way to backfill the buy-down, and that's the issue. And get involved, make a difference, because the people who are elected are the ones who make those decisions on how the spending goes.
Get the information straight from them with me, Gary Emmett, weekdays at 8:30 p.m. and Sundays at 9 p.m. Central Time on Beck TV and online anytime at Beck.News.
Beck TV is the 2022 best local TV station. For the second consecutive year, thank you again for voting us the best local TV station in the Bismarck Tribune's Best of the Best contest. We strive to continue to broadcast the most live and local sporting events in the region. Plus, we are the largest producer of uncensored news and opinion shows. Thank you again. Beck TV is the leader in local.
It's time for the Giving Hearts Day Halftime Report. Did you know that Giving Hearts Day is more than just dollars? It's also a place to check out hundreds of volunteer opportunities. Visit givingheartsday.org/volunteer to see if your favorite local charity could use a helping hand.
Before we jump into the second half action, let's take a moment to remember that Beck knows students are a huge part of the communities that we serve. That's why we've been providing scholarships for students for more than 25 years. Are you a Beck Fiber customer, or are you the dependent of one? That means you can apply for one of 4 scholarships by logging on to Beck.coop. Don't wait, deadlines are quickly approaching. That's Beck.coop under the Rewarding Students section. Man, it's been a great week for our entire crew here in Williston as our second half gets underway, presented by Steffes Group, selling land and equipment since 1960. Visit steffesgroup.com for a full list of upcoming auctions. On behalf of Director Reno Hightower, Miss Blanche Goldwater on graphics, Scotty Lurch and Patrick Conte on cameras, and Brett Loftus sitting to my right, I'm Jay Kerbin saying thank you so much for joining us. It's time to crown a champion here in Region 8. Honkers come right out and look for Offworth. She's blocked. Thea Johnson, the freshman, has been up to the task so far tonight. We talked before the game, Brett, about how important Tioga's interior defense would be as Deb DeMoe calls timeout. So far, they've been able to keep Kenmare's forwards in check. That's part of the reason they're only down by 5 in the opening stages of half number 2.
Beck TV is the 2022 best local TV station. For the second consecutive year, thank you again for voting us the best local TV station in the Bismarck Tribune's Best of the Best contest. We strive to continue to broadcast the most live and local sporting events in the region. Plus, we are the largest producer of uncensored news and opinion shows. Thank you again. Beck TV is the leader in local.
It's time to get educated, people.
And that's just what we're doing on our new show, Educated. Every day we bring you the stories from inside the classroom that mainstream media won't cover.
So stay educated with us. Weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Central Time on Beck News or anytime online at Beck.News.
Timeouts made for each team in this one after Coach Deb DeMoe just burned one, just seconds in to our second half. As right out of the timeout, Bree Rose loses it. Moline first to the floor. That was not what the third-year head coach drew up, and neither was that. A foul on Bree Rose. You know, when I talked to Deb DeMoe before the game today about what it would take to solve Kenmare, she said, it might just mean that we need a cold shooting night from them. Sometimes you just tip your cap because Kenmare shot the ball extremely well in both of the regular season meetings between these two teams. Tonight, though, they've gone a little cold. Kenmare's missed their last 8 threes. They shot just 15% from the field in the second quarter, and that's given Tioga an open.
I like what Coach Zimmer just did there. He's a bit disgruntled with the jump ball, but he looks out at Mache Miller, who had an open three-point look, and he goes, shoot it next time. So back down the floor, expect to see the Honkers start shooting more three-pointers.
And they made 3 of their first 4 from out there before going cold. Cheyenne Hayes playing with those 2 fouls, gets a screen from Rhodes. Out to Wally, who didn't start in this one, but has played significant minutes. Rose draws the double. In the corner, she'll fire. Splash. We've seen it in the second half of every game this tournament. Bree Rose brings it in crunch time.
Uh-oh, don't let Miss Rose get going here in the third quarter.
Off her, that's a 2, and it rattles out. Hayes using the Wallene screen, goes behind the back. Johnson for the lead.
Okay, the Pirates are heating up.
This was a 16-0 Kenmare lead. Tioga is in front for the first time, and they are on their feet.
A freshman in Thea Johnson. She's been phenomenal in this tournament. Coach Zimmer with a bit frowny face. He knows his defense has got to continue to be stout here in the third.
Johnson thought about another. Instead, Wallene missed it. Strokeland with an important rebound.
And Jake, this Kenmare team, which we know is perhaps one of the very best offenses in all of the state, has been scoreless for almost 7 minutes.
Zimmer missed. Hayes, one-on-one. Gets by Miller, but not Zimmer. Good help defense there from the senior. Mache Miller leaves it for Strokeland. Got it.
That's who you want to get going. That is the first bucket for Kenmare, if you're keeping track at home, since the 4:29 moment in the second quarter.
And about 20 minutes of real time. Right there, they get a steal from Offorth. Miller trying to beat the zone down the floor. Zimmer left alone. And a rare miss. Rebound hauled in by Strokeland. She's hacked. Reach-in foul on Thea Johnson.
Jake, I just want to point out here, I know we're kind of in that precipice of the game where we're going to see momentum tend to sway one way or the other. Game started out 16-0 in favor of Kenmare. Since then, Tioga, albeit a bit about, 13, 14 minutes of game time, a 25-10 run. These Pirates have stepped up. They're full of youthfulness. They're full of maybe they don't know any better to be here in the Region 8 championship game, but they're playing up to their fullest potential here in the biggest moment of the season.
Not a single senior on this roster for the Tioga Pirates. 3 freshmen playing significant minutes. Zimmer's gone cold. Long rebound. We'll go back to Kenmare. Wallene went after it, collided with Mache Miller, and the officials say no foul.
You know what I love about these type of championship environments, Jake? You have plays like these. The Tioga faithful disgruntled, no foul. The Kenmare faithful excited because of plays like that.
Zimmer with her first points of the second half. How about 11 points for Zimmer? That's more than she averaged before the injury. Playing with that torn ACL. She's diving on the floor, and she gets the timeout. They call her the coach on the floor for a reason. Kate Zimmer laying everything on the line for Kenmare. They're back up by 4.
Today's game is presented by the following: Dakota Bank, Peterson Farms Seed, Forebears, Nutrient A, Newtown Jack and Jill, Montana Dakota Utilities, Montrell Williams and Burke Divide Electric Cooperative, and United Tribes Technical College. This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Bell Bank, BASF, we create chemistry, Securian Financial Advisors of North Dakota, Giving Hearts Day, and these premier sponsors.
Pirates fans in the student section wearing their camouflage, perhaps trying to go duck hunting today against the Honkers, a team that beat them twice this season. But this Kenmare team, Brett, ranked number 2 in the state. They are battle-tested. Yes, they're second in the final poll, but they got more first-place votes last Saturday than anybody else. Thompson ranked ahead of them, but Kenmare beat them early in the year. There's no reason to think this team can't take a state crown this year, but they have to get past Tioga first. Pirates trying to get to state for the first time in their school history, trying to capture their first Region 8 crown, as Zimmer contested that shot from Wallin. Playing with a torn ACL, looking healthy as ever right now. Vardy got Rose in the air, and Bree Rose clattered into her.
That's a great play by Alexa Vardy. Get Bree Rose off her feet, a stutter step, and then plays right into it. Vardy knew she was going to take the contact too. That is a veteran savvy move by just a sophomore.
2 personal fouls on Bree Rose, and both come in this third quarter. Strokeland going to work off the window. And that's more of what we saw in the first 2 meetings this year. Strokeland has dominated Tioga. That's just her 4th field goal in this one. She had 16 in the district title game. As they get a touch foul on Zimmer, bumping Rose.
And if they wouldn't have called that foul, Bree Rose had then stepped on the baseline. So that foul kind of saves the Pirates. And Tioga desperately needs a bucket here. They got to take advantage of that misstep by Kenmare.
Nothing doing on that inbounds play, but they do get it in. Johnson called for the charge. There's Vardy. That hustle player, the sophomore, forces the turnover, and Deb DeMont going to her bench. She's going to bring Thea Johnson back on the floor.
Yeah, booze raining from Tioga right now. You obviously saw that forearm thrown there. That's going to be called a charge, 10 out of 10.
4th foul on Tioga this half. Kenmare has just committed 1. Madison Moline quiet. She drops down low to Strokeland. Extra pass, Vardy, but a block. And she's only a freshman. A breakout tournament for Thea Johnson. She led the team in blocks this season. And there's one to stuff Vardy. Moline fires. Rebound, Wally.
Find Bree Rose a touch early in the possession.
Wallin takes it all the way herself.
Or just do that.
4-point game. Nearly stolen by Thea Johnson. Miller open up top, but Bree Rose took it away. And a foul called. It's on Moline. She ran over Wally on her way to the floor as father and daughter talk things over.
Yeah, Kate, she's been a bit frustrated, I think, with a few things today. And also her left leg looks to be bothering her. I think that's what she was going over there to talk to Coach Simmer about. Another look at this one. Yeah, oh, she tweaked that there at the end. It's obviously something you don't want to see. We'll keep a close eye on that for you.
She's doubled over right now on the Kenmare sideline. That'll be something to watch, whether or not she's able to come back. Again, playing with a torn left ACL. That 3, offline, rebound, Taya Offworth.
Well, Kate just took a deep breath, walked back to the front of the bench, still clutching at that left leg, almost in tears. But I don't think anything's going to keep her off the floor right now.
Strokeland over the defense and over the hoop, but there's Offworth to save the possession. Those two combined for 50 points in the last matchup. They've combined for just 10 today. Strokeland's got 8 of them, and now she's got 10. Back to a 6-point Kenmare lead. As soon as Tioga moved in front, Kenmare has responded with a 9-2 run. Johnson gets fouled inside. Looks like they're going to get that one on either Moline or Offorth. It'll be Offorth that gets charged 32 in white.
And that'll just be her second foul. So that's good news for Kenmare. The bad news is you sent a really, really good free throw shooter to the line in Thea Johnson. And she'll miss the first.
That's what we call an announcer's jinx right there. Johnson, who averaged 5 and 5 in the regular season, leaves a pair of costly points at the line, and that's a good call by the official. Cheryl Hayes with the bump on the way out of bounds. It's right in front of the Tioga faithful. They disagree, but watch this replay again. 15 gets called for the foul, and there it is.
Yeah, that's Cheryl Hayes right there. That could have been a flagrant foul, perhaps, shoving Brenna Strokeland into the bench. That's obviously the plays you don't want to see.
Moline with space. Miller saves it. Offensive rebound starting to pile up for Kenmare.
Tioga faithful starting to come alive.
And so is their defense. Landsberg looking for Rose, intercepted. Vardy sniffed it out. 4 on 3. Miller. There's Moline with a second chance. Vardy wide open. Pure. Honker starting to take flight again. Pirates need a response. Back a 9-point game. McKenna Landsberg playing catch with Cheryl Hayes. Final minute of quarter number 3. Johnson, nice move and a finish.
That's exactly what you want to see out of Thea Johnson. Use her length, use it down low. That's where the Pirates have to score right now, since they've fallen cold from about 17 and out.
Region 8 basketball on Beck, presented by Dakota Bank. Dakota Bank is here for you. Peterson Farm Seed, the premier soybean and corn seed provider for Minnesota, North Dakota, and for Bears. Cheryl Hayes will head to the line. That'll be foul number 3 on Taya Offorth.
And obviously foul number 2, not even a deal. Foul number 3, especially as aggressive we've seen defense play tonight. That's a pretty concerning, I would like to think, for Coach Zimmer. And here you'll see Cheryl Hayes at the line.
Tioga has been to the free throw line almost double the amount Kenmare has today, but in this second half, they haven't shot it too well from there.
One of their last 5 at the charity stripe.
And they were 8 of 11 in half number 1. Hayes will trim the deficit back down to 6. I want to thank a few more sponsors here before the end quarter. Nutrien Ag, Newtown Jack and Jill, and Montana Dakota Utilities, reminding you to always call before you dig. Madison Moline able to hit. Honkers have hit their last couple of trays, and they've ballooned their lead back up to 9. 3 to go. Landsberg got it. And these two teams continue to trade punches. Kenmare on top by 7, looking for their 3rd straight Region 8 title.
Beck TV is the 2022 best local TV station. For the 2nd consecutive year, thank you again for voting us the best local TV station in the Bismarck Tribune's Best of the Best contest. We strive to continue to broadcast the most live and local sporting events in the region. Plus, we are the largest producer of uncensored news and opinion shows. Thank you again. Beck TV is the leader in local.
It's time to get educated, people.
And that's just what we're doing on our new show, Educated. Every day we bring you the stories from inside the classroom that mainstream media won't cover.
So stay educated with us. Weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Central Time on Beck News or anytime online at beck.news.
The 2 best teams in Region 8 involved in a very fun final here in Williston. The Kenmare Bowbells Hawkers in their fourth appearance here in the regional final, looking for their third straight state tournament appearance. Tioga trying to go to state and win Region 8 for the first time in school history. Alongside Brett Loftus and our entire Beck Sports crew, Jake Herman back with you here at the Well on the campus of Williston State College. Pirates led for a fleeting moment in quarter number 3. Kenmare has built that advantage back up to as many as 9. They led 16-0 in the first quarter before Tioga battled back. Every loose ball crucial here in quarter number 4.
And Tioga, they're fighting. We mentioned they're lacking, obviously, the size disadvantage down low, but they fought for every single rebound tonight, just playing absolutely phenomenal.
Will it be enough to dethrone the Queen of Region 8? Off earth, nice dribble pull-up.
She committed 2 quick fouls there to give her second and third at the end of the third. Sometime that can affect the player's psyche, not Tay Alforth, who is, as you would say, just a freshman.
Just a freshman, but one who has plenty of experience on this stage. A lot of contact there on Rose. Surprised there wasn't a foul call. Can they take advantage? They can! Alexa Vardy having a huge game here in the regional final.
I figure Coach Jimon might think about using a timeout there.
Instead, Kenmare has a chance to add on to this 12-point lead. Moline lets the defense go. Offered there for the stick back. And is Kenmare delivering a knockout punch? Kate Zimmer getting ready to check in once again after she walked off in pain late in the third quarter. Cheryl Hayes falls down and will go to the line. Tioga all of a sudden right back in danger. Kenmare has rebuilt this lead. Was there perhaps a little let-off from the Pirates once they climbed that hill of an early 16-point deficit to come back and take the lead?
Obviously seeing Kate Zimmer back out there on the floor, that's going to really help Kenmare as well.
Zimmer, who retore her left ACL on January the 17th, didn't play for 2 games afterwards. Those were the only 2 losses Kenmare for this year. Coach Mike Zimmer in his 6th season said, we were just discombobulated. Emotionally, we weren't there. We weren't invested. It felt like a death in the family. And for him, it was a family member suffering through a life-changing injury. But she's battled through it and been huge tonight with 11 points, including a pair of trays. She tried to take a charge there. Officials say play on. Wallin is stonewalled by Strokeland. Here is Zimmer finding the pass. And Moline will go to the line. Take a look at this Ultra Health Systems replay, Brett, and tell me how Kate Zimmer found this angle.
She threaded the needle that time. That was beautiful. And if you can't tell me that number 5 playing on one leg is not one of the very best steel point guards in all of the state, I don't know what you're watching. Kate Zimmer, she's been phenomenal throughout the tournament. It is just so phenomenal. I mean, for those who've had torn ACLs out there, you know how hard it is to make a cut. You know how hard it is just to walk. She's out here playing almost 20 minutes, 25 minutes of basketball tonight. I mean, this is just phenomenal. We'll take another look at that pass. True point guard play right there from Zimmer.
Any higher, and Cambry Johnson's gonna stick her long limb out there and take it away. Lead up to 14 for the Hawkers. This feels like a danger zone for Tioga. They need it, and they nearly get it. Rebound, though, for Cambry Johnson, an 8th grader who's really started to come into her own right before our eyes here at the Region 8 tournament.
Every time we get to that precipice, in my opinion, Jake, that 15-point margin in any basketball game constitutes you getting back to a closer game or you're growing towards a blowout. And every time we've gotten to that precipice, that somehow Tioga has reeled it back in. They haven't been able to get it to single digits, though, yet here in the 4th quarter.
Johnson averaged 5 a game. She's already up to 6 here in this one. Leaves 1 point at the line. Converts on one of the 2 free throws. Moline left open. Playing catch with Miller. And swishing the three. It's been a three-point barrage in the fourth quarter for Kenmare. And Tioga is on the ropes. 51-35 with 5 minutes to go here on Beck.
Beck TV is the 2022 best local TV station. For the second consecutive year, thank you again for voting us the best local TV station in the Bismarck Tribune's Best of the Best contest. We strive to continue to broadcast the most live and local sporting events in the region. Plus, we are the largest producer of uncensored news and opinion shows. Thank you again. Beck TV is the leader in local.
It's time to get educated, people.
And that's just what we're doing on our new show, Educated. Every day we bring you the stories from inside the classroom that mainstream media won't cover.
So stay educated with us. Weekdays at 2:30 p.m. Central Time on Beck News or anytime online at beck.news.
Region 8 basketball here on Beck, presented by Mount Real Williams and Burke Divide Electric Co-op, State Bank, and Trust of Care, supporting our local community, as well as United Tribes Technical College. It is gut check time for Tioga, trying to capture their first Region 8 championship. The Kenmare Bowbells Honkers looking for a three-peat. They trailed for a fleeting second in the third quarter, but now they've rebuilt the 16-0 lead they started the game with, and you can rebuild your garage seals with your order from snurtstopper.com. Use promo code BECK10 for 10% off. Rose threw it away. It has not been her night, and Kenmare has a chance to get a new largest lead. It's Strokeland. She scores. And it feels like the Honkers have found their stride, looking like they're on their way unless the Pirates come up with something special.
The queens of Region 8 have arisen yet in to the cream of the crop. Will always rise to the top. These Honkers, man, I tell you, it's very hard to repeat, Jake. But it's even harder to three-peat. And that's what we got on the verge. And we're about 4.5 minutes away if Kenmare can hang on to this 18-point lead.
Remember, 4 years ago on this stage, they lost to the Trenton Tigers. They regrouped, were undefeated in the regular season in 2021. Did not lose until the state tournament against Wilton Wing. In 2022, they started 6-6 after Kate Zimmer's injury, but came back to win again in Newtown, over Newtown in the finals. And here they are with just one Region 8 loss all season, ranked number 2 in the state, looking as formidable as ever. Strokeland got fouled. Cambry Johnson, the culprit.
She's come alive here in the fourth. Brenna Strokeland has turned into a different animal, but the same beast, as the great Kobe Bryant would say. I mean, she has just been phenomenal down there inside of the painted area. Every time she touches it, it's going up, and more times than not, it's been going in.
Strokeland held to 5 points in the first half on 2 of 8 shooting, but she's up to 8 points here in the second half. Not quite at her season averages. You could tell Tioga has circled her today. You know, last time these two teams played, Miller and Mean, well, they were quiet from the outside. It was Strokeland and Offord that killed them on the interior. Today, the outside shooting has come to the party because of the extra attention that Strokeland has drawn. Zimmer. Off that one leg, she throws the pass. Entry to Strokeland, and one, and what could be a dagger.
Brenna Strokeland, we were just talking about her, how much work she's been doing down there inside the paint. That's going to be the 4th foul called on Cambry Johnson. She and Cheryl Hayes have done all they can do, but I mean, to be honest, Brenna Strokeland, she's been one of the very best players in Region 8 in the state this year. She's hard to stop when she gets going.
The future Jamestown Jimmy, who's always hungry to learn more. After every practice, Coach Zimmer says she's asking questions, challenging herself, challenging everybody around her to be better. What a career it's been for her at Kenmare. And, well, they hope it's not over as they are 4 minutes away from a third consecutive state tournament appearance, barring disaster. Tioga's come apart a little bit on offense here in the fourth. Kenmare has had a lot to do with it.
Absolutely. Their defense has looked just as good as it did in the first quarter.
Travel violation called on Alexa Vardy. 3.5 minutes to go, and onto the floor steps Mercedes Travis for for Tioga. Mercedes Travis is a three-point specialist. Been dealing with some knee soreness, so hasn't played too much in this tournament, but you know she's looking to shoot it. She feeds down low to Cheyenne Hayes, who short-armed it. Vardy comes away with the rebound, and Kenmare knows that the clock is on their side.
Yeah, they just need to bleed it here. Take some time. Deep into the shot clock you go, and, well, the Honkers are well on their way.
The number 2 team in the state with 3 wins over ranked teams in the final poll, receiving more first-place votes than any other team, trying to recapture first place in Region 8. Under 3 minutes to play, a 19-point margin is the largest of the game. Hayes chucks one up there, and it doesn't fall. I mean, rebound belongs to Strokeland.
And Coach Zimmer, he wants the Honkers. Slow it down, slow it down.
They stand 2.5 minutes away from beating Tioga for a third time this year. A young Tioga team who had the chance tonight for perhaps their biggest win in program history, but they have no seniors. They are a young team that hopes to be back on this stage as Zimmer. That would have been lights out.
And they've been oh so close at times tonight, but it's been times like these where they haven't been able to capitalize. Brenna Strokeland, she's put up double figures fourth quarter alone here, Mr. Herman, and that is going to be the play that will end Tioga's season.
A size mismatch on Mercedes Travis. Vardy and Zimmer check out of the game. At this point, Mike Zimmer knows he can save his daughter Kate, who has played through a torn ACL today, for the state tournament, because Kenmare is on their way. 2:03 to go. They lead by 21 here in Williston.
This game on the Beck Sports Network is presented by the following: Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, Val Bank, BASF, we create chemistry, Securian Financial Advisors of North Dakota, Giving Hearts Day, and these premier sponsors. Today's game is presented by the following: Dakota Bank, Peterson Farms Seed, Forebears, Nutrient A, Newtown Jack and Jill, Montana Dakota Utilities, Montreal Williams and Burke Divide Electric Cooperative, and United Tribes Technical College.
Not the way the Tioga Pirates faithful wanted this fourth quarter to go, but what a season that the Pirates have had. They won 7 games a year ago and pushed Newtown, the District 15 champions, to the wire in round 1 of the Region 8 tournament. That was a game that Coach Deb DeMoe said gave them confidence that they would have a different outcome this season, and they have. Second place in Region 8 will be their best finish in school history.
And this has to be a team that I think anybody that's watched this game, you have to feel like they'll be back. But when you challenge the Queens, you better not miss. And here tonight, the Honkers, they were challenged. And they were caught in the ropes a few times. But they're the Queens for a reason.
And Machée Miller is one of them. She's had a great second half shooting the basketball. Miller, who is an all-region returner, has hit 6 trays in this tournament as Strokeland nearly picked Ava Waleen's pocket. Instead, she'll send her to the line.
And don't forget, post-game, we'll have the Farmers Union Insurance post-game show our Jerome's Collision Center player of the game, but we'll also have Region 8 postseason awards, so make sure you stick around for that.
Plenty of media on hand covering that. We're glad you're choosing to watch the Region 8 Championship with us here on Beck. As it's presented by Dakota Bank. Dakota Bank is here for you. Peterson Farm Seed, the premier soybean and corn seed provider for Minnesota and North Dakota and for Bears. Kenmare 1 minute and 9 seconds away from victory. Chloe Goldaddy and Kennedy Keever, 2 juniors and captains for Tioga, getting on the floor here down the stretch. Bree Rose's night, as well as Cheryl Hayes' night, and seasons are done. But those 2 freshmen will be major figures in Region 8 for years to come.
Yeah, Bree Rose had one of the best tournaments we've seen of any individual, and she's the biggest reason why Tioga was here, along with Cheryl Hayes.
Meanwhile, Kenmare, with their seniors, with the exception of Zimmer resting up, are on the floor to see this thing through. They weathered a second and third quarter storm. A 16-0 lead evaporated, but was rebuilt in this fourth quarter, and they did it with defense. A Kenmare team that gave up just 42 points in their first 2 games, the best 2-game stretch in Region 8 history. That's one of the things this team will be remembered for, but they hope it's not the only one. 24-point game now. They are pouring it on.
Defense always prevail. And 63 points will also be the most points they've scored in a Region 8 championship game this season as well, and actually of all their Region 8 stretches. Congratulations to the Hoggers.
Shot clock is off. Fans on their feet. And the Kenmare dynasty here in Region 8 will continue. The Honkers will defeat Tioga here in Williston and remain the queens of Region 8. The three-peat is complete. 63-41, the final score of a game that was much closer than that until the fourth quarter.
What a performance by the Region 8 champions, as you mentioned there, Jake, for the 3rd straight year.
So now, what will the rest of the season have in store for Coach Zimmer's team? Trying to top their 6th place finish from last year, coming in with wins over 3 of the top 8 teams. The sky is the limit for the Kenmare Honkers. They pick up win number 23 of their season. They are 23-2. Tioga finishes their best season in program history at 18-6. We're going to send you downstairs for our award ceremony in just a few moments as we recognize those who had the best seasons in Region 8.
As your name is called, please come down to the court. Ava Schuster from Stanley. Sunny Belgar, Newtown. Savannah Fredrickson, Powers Lake Burke Central. From Gideon Howell, Kaya Afford. From Tioga, Cheryl Hayes. From Gideon Howell, Madison Lee. From Kenmare Bowbells, Brenda Stokeland. Let's have a round of applause for the 2023 Region Girls Basketball All-Tournament team. The next award will be the Region 8 Athletic Director of the Year. This award is chosen by fellow Region 8 Athletic Directors. This year's Region 8 Athletic Director of the Year is Trail Jameson of Alexander High School. The Region 8 Coach of the Year is next. This award is voted on by the Region 8 Girls Basketball Coaches. The 2023 Region 8 Coach of the Year in Girls Basketball is Mike Zimmer from Tioga. The Region 8 Senior Athlete of the Year is given to the top senior athlete in the region and is voted on by the schools in the region. The 2023 Region 8 Senior Athlete of the Year in girls basketball is Brenda Stokeland. Now we'll recognize the teams. Your captains from the fourth place Palmers Lake Burke Central Ranchers, please come forward. Now the captain from the third place, Newtown Eagles, come forward. Now the captain from the Tioga Pirates, please come forward to the senior coaches. Now the representatives from the 2023 Region 8 champion Kenmare Bowbells Hunters. Please come forward. That's the one for the Kenmare Hunters as they will participate in the state Class B girls basketball tournament next week, March 2nd through 4th at the Minot State Dome in Minot. We would like to thank all the participants and coaches for a great tournament. Please clean up any
us here at Beck Sports. I want to extend our congratulations to all of the honorees. Again, the all-region team: Ava Schuster, Sunny Bellegarde, Savannah Fredrickson, Taya Alford, Cheryl Hayes, Madison Moline, Bree Rose, and Brenna Strokeland. Strokeland was also honored as the Senior Athlete of the Year in Region 8, and her head coach, Michael Zimmer of the Kenmare Honkers, is honored as the Region 8 Coach of the Year. I want to extend congratulations to Terrell Jacobson of Alexander as well, the Athletic Director of the Year, as we honor the achievements of all the athletes here in Region 8. What a tournament it was, and we're going to find out who becomes the Jerome's Collision Center Player of the Game for tonight's championship.
As we move forward, technology is always going to be constantly improving. So here at NCC, it's an important role that we keep up with those so we can provide for our customers and our area as we change and grow.
The technology we use to communicate has changed a lot over the years, but one thing that hasn't changed is NCC's commitment to our customers. From high-speed internet to home security and everything in between, our team is here to help you find the tools you need to stay connected to the world.
It's time for the Farmers Union Insurance postgame show. For all of your insurance needs, contact your local Farmers Union insurance agent or go to FUMIC.com. Today's play of the game is brought to you by Jerome's Collision Center. At Jerome's Collision Center, we take care of everything. That includes insurance. You'll have peace of mind knowing the work will be done right, and you'll be back on the road in no time at all.
Last month, a lot of people would not have thought this possible. Kate Zimmer playing with a torn left ACL, the same one that cost her last season, is able to come out and score 11 points, diving on the floor and making a difference all night long for the Kenmare Bowbells Honkers.
The gutsiest performance I've ever seen out of high school athlete, bar none. Kate Zimmer, the leader, the captain, and the coach on the floor. Where else would she rather be than heading back to a state championship tournament? Congratulations again to the Kenmare Honkers.
They will move on to the state tournament for their third consecutive season with a win over Tioga tonight by a final score of 63-41. Brenna Strokeland led the way with 19 points. She had 14 of those in the second half to lead all scorers. That's it. It's over. The Region 8 tournament is history. We're so glad you joined us from wherever you are watching. On behalf of our entire Beck Sports crew and Brett Loftus sitting to my right, I'm Jake Herman saying so long. We appreciate you joining us for Region 8 girls basketball on Beck.
At the heart of every small town are the people that live there and the businesses that serve them. From sporting